in the last video, I talked about like how women can call men broke like easily, and men can't do the same for like a girl, right?
Yeah.
So I read out something from like a Finsta post that I posted before. So I'll read out the last few segments of this. What can you offer to the table if you can't do anything else to balance the scale? If a man is more loving than you, drives better than you, drives you everywhere, makes more than you, buys you more shit, has to pick up your emotional and situation baggage, helps you with career success, does the same amount of housework as you, and you still treat him like shit as if his salary, which is higher than yours, ain't shit, where is the man plus woman equality? Assuming anyone has the above said qualities, anyone meaning it could be man or woman, yet the other fails to reciprocate or make up in other aspects, marriage is a fucking scam. I'm sorry, I'm not a traditional believer that a woman has to do housework, but if you can't pull your weight in so many areas and be a bit more loving, what do you have to offer? Being a prize based on looks is not one of them. So the problem with this, right now, we're seeing an increase of women who think that the traditional like housework, being submissive, being loving to the children, doing like housework, being a housewife, there's an increase from our parents' generation to now. A lot of girls nowadays, I speak on my own experience. I've had like several girlfriends who I said, I want a girl to be traditional, like take care of the house, could cook, can clean and all that stuff. I did mention here, I'm not a traditional believer that a woman has to do housework. My views have changed since then, okay? Now I don't think a woman needs to do traditional housework. But if you're not able to make up in other aspects, like all of the ones I just fucking listed, like making money, being able to driving all the time, or buying gifts, being more loving, then what do you have to offer? If you want to tell me, like my past girlfriends, they all said like, oh, you just want someone who's like traditional. You just want a girl who's traditional. And they would like laugh and mock me as if like that's a problem. Well, bitch, how's that being traditional? That's just you trying to be unfair. Because I make more money than you, and I do all of these things I listed. What do you have to offer? And then you want to tell me that like my requirements of needing you to be a little bit more traditional is a lot? Is too traditional for you? Fuck you,
Yeah.
Fuck that shit, Like, there's no equality in that. If you're a girl and then the man is better than you at everything. Or take this. If you're if you're a girl and you're better than the guy in everything, I mean, how would you feel, right?
Like a mommy.
Like, you have to take care of this person all the time. That's exactly how we feel as men. Because it's like, why the fuck do we have to do everything? And then if we ask for house chores, you can't even do that.
It kind of brings me up to like a video I saw on Instagram where like a guy was just working like maybe like over like a 10-hour shift, like 13-hour shift. He comes home like expecting there to be like maybe something like for him to like eat or something, and then like he shows up at home and then the wife is expecting him to cook something.
Oh yeah, dude.
I
have my own experience on that, man. I mean, packing like food for like a girl I dated in the past before, and then she can't even do the same for me when I had a long day. And then it's like, how am I packing your food? How am I doing the same amount of laundry that you're doing? And then when I ask for certain things like this, maybe to balance the scale, you're like, you're fucking traditional. No, I'm not fucking traditional. I'm just trying to advocate for equality.
Yeah.
And then you bitch about like, oh, there's no equality with men and women.
Bitch, what do you have to bring to the table?
You're the one that's not offering equality,
Yeah.
If women want to keep saying like this traditional crap, like cleaning and housework and all this crap, being more loving to like the kid is too traditional, you gotta think about like, what can you bring to the table? If your finances are not as good as the man's finances, what can you bring? What do you fucking expect like the man to cook and clean and do all that shit while he's making money? How do you expect a man to be making fucking 6 figures? 6 figures plus,
and have time to come home and cook and laundry and everything for you,
and drive to your house. Oh, I just want some medication. I just want him to show me his love and affection by driving over like an hour from like maybe like Roland Heights to like Irvine so that he could bring me like medication and show me some love and affection this way. No, bitch, he has to make 6 figures, right?
That's what
I
you
mean,
wanted.
I mean, that's what you want. Like, how come you don't do the same for him then?
Yeah. Like,
So
are you bringing any money?
You're not making 6 figures.
Mm-hmm.
How come if you have so much fucking time, how come you don't do that for him? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
So if you have time to fuck around and make like your 50K salary, I think most women about our age, like the 30s, are making about 50K now. Girls nowadays are making like probably like 50K average salary. If you're making 50K and you have more time than a man when he's making like 100K, assuming he doesn't have a chill job, then how the fuck does he have time to take care of you, show his love and affection, and do some house chores, and then also, you know, make more money than you?
It's unequal.
What the fuck is that, you know? We as men, like when we ask for traditional like requirements like this,
I think it's mainly because they have nothing else to bring to the table. Or...
yeah, at least for me, if a girl was making like how much I was making, I'd be fine. Yeah, let's share the work. I'll cook. I'll learn how to cook. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But if you're making like 1/3 what I'm making, dude, you gotta pull your fucking weight. And a girl I was dating in the past, like I would post like so many IG pictures of us, right? Like so much fucking long, detailed, like cutesy simp shit. And then when I ask like, hey, can you do the same for me? She goes like, what are you? Are you a fucking glass heart? What the fuck? You make like less than you make like 1/3 my amount, and then I ask you just for like a small appreciation post because you can't provide in like finances, you can't provide in like house chores because you say that's too traditional. Then why the fuck can't you do like these house chores by yourself? You know, like if you're all of these things added up together,
like they have to pull their own weight.
that's the problem we're facing right now. There's a rapid increase of women who think that these traditional gender roles, where man makes the money, girl is focused on like the housework, is bullshit. Like women right now, they think that no, like man should take care of the house while I have my own aspirations, I have my own ambitions.
So do you think this might be contributing to like how people aren't getting married?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a contradiction.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make sense. Like, how does that make any sense? You know, like if a man has to do all the fucking work, man's gonna get tired of that shit. That's why I said in my post that the marriage is a scam. If a man makes more than you, once you divorce him, you take half his assets, and then plus in that relationship he did way more housework than you, and then he took care of driving you and all that crap. And please save me the fucking hassle of going through the comments and having to see like some girls going like, oh, but I drive my boyfriend all the fucking time. No, I'm not fucking talking about you. I'm talking about like normal situations, like normal overarching situations that like men have to deal with. Like most men are better drivers than women, statistically, right? So men would drive more of the time. Like I drive all my girlfriends whenever we go vacation. I see my brothers do the same.
Yeah, I think most guys would
drive. My dad does that too.
Yeah.
And then a lot of my guy friends, they drive their girlfriends almost everywhere. Please don't give me some bullshit like, oh, well, I do that for my boyfriend. Well, I'm not fucking talking about you. All right, you're the outlier. Congratulations, you have a fucking idiot boyfriend. I'm sorry. But but I'm very happy that you're not like that. Maybe we could go on a date or something sometime.
Oh shit.
But that's the issue we're facing, man. Like
in the Western
culture, and that's why we had that video about dating in the East versus the West, and you guys could check that out too, because in the East they don't really expect all of this shit. It is becoming popular in the East now. The toxicity that America or in the West is having, it's fucking spreading.
Sheesh.
Obviously, if you have like a poor society, like probably like India, things are not as like glamorous. They're obviously just going to focus on the gender roles because they don't have enough time to complain about these stupid things. Like women in the West, because we live in a higher standard of living, higher standard of society, where the standard of living is a lot higher than like probably India. In India, probably they would be like, yeah, well, these are the gender roles, and they're more realistic.
Mm.
They're not like first world problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have that saying, first world problems. First world countries have these stupid ass issues where it's like girls like they're like complaining, oh well, this is too traditional. I'm not gonna fucking do that shit for you. But you don't see that shit in like a third world country because they have way more things to worry about, that they're just realistic about things. We're
Mm-hmm.
not living in like a Disney drama like that girl from Tinder Swindler. If you watch that shit, but and if you really want me to get deep into that, I'll just do like a TLDR about Tinder Swindler. Like at first, I was like, this guy's an asshole for disrespecting and scamming all these girls.
Mm-hmm.
But I started reading a lot more comments of reviews, and a lot of these reviews were saying, well, if the roles were reversed, you don't see like how so many of these scamming girls,
Mm-hmm.
there's a documentary on it.
Mm.
Because when guys get scammed, it's just whatever, because we're men, we have to face that shit.
Yeah.
But when a girl gets scammed, what the fuck? Becomes like the Netflix like top 10 in the fucking
Yeah.
America. Holy shit, man. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So that kind of goes to show like the inequality again.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tinder Swindler is a good example of that.
I mean, I feel like if we don't find a way to resolve this issue, I feel like in the Western like civilization, it's just going to be like marriage is going to be like an unheard of thing. Like maybe in the future.
Shit.